Hey guys, it's Rihanna Tarantino here. I am finally back with a new video. I think it's been like 2 months, since I posted my last one. I apologize. I really wish I was away because I was out doing some fun things and living my best life, but it hasn't been that great for me recently. If you can tell by the title of the video, I've been kind of going through some things and I kind of wanted to just do a update about what's been going on with me. I keep seeing people kind of talk about how 2020 is the worst year ever. And I was kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. I mean, we're only going through a global pandemic. We were off of work for like 6 weeks. I was living my best life during that. And yeah, I really didn't think it was that bad. And then it kind of hit me as of recently, like, yeah, this year sucked. It hasn't been the best for me. And it's kind of like, just been going through some things lately. We all go through things. I don't want to take away from any other people that may have had things going on worse than me. I definitely get it. I just wanted to kind of share my story. It's been a week now, I've actually been diagnosed with having anxiety. I've always kind of self-diagnosed myself with depression and anxiety for, gosh, like most of my life. I always just thought it was going to be like part of my personality, and I was just something that I was going to have to deal with. I never wanted to be on medication for everything that I had going on. I did go to therapy for a little bit. I ended up not following through with it all the way. It's something I want to get back into. But again, I was like, I don't want to be on any medicine. I don't want to have to depend on anything to make me happy. I've known people that have been on medication for things, and it's such definitely a trial and error basis to where you, I mean, that's with everything. You got to figure out what works for you, what you like, and what's good for your body. I just was always like, no, like I want to be happy on my own. Like I can do it. I just got to do things that are going to make me happy. And yeah, I was very ignorant to that, and no shade or anything to anybody that feels that way, because it's completely fine. I get it. I was like that forever. And then I just as of recently, I've just kind of totally lost control of my life. Literally, my body, my mind, I literally had no control over it at all. How this all started was, basically a month ago, me and my boyfriend of 4 years, we broke up. It's something I didn't realize I was dealing with. I literally feel like that meme where it's like everything's fine. It's the little dog just drinking the coffee and the whole house is on fire. That's how I am when I deal with things. Like I'm really like, I'm cool. I think I repress things. That's something that I do. I'm like, I'm fine, I'm cool. And I'm realizing I'm not. I'm kind of just deepening everything and kind of burying it, and then I think I just exploded. So that's been going on. So that's been about a month now, and I thought I was doing okay with that. Just been working, keeping my mind busy. I've been hanging out with my friends a lot. My best friend Taylor has been, shout out to Taylor. She's been an angel, a godsend, so good to me. Like I wish everyone to have a friend like her, because she literally, I really don't know where I would be without her. Seriously, it's like that. So I've been kind of hanging out with my friends more. Gaming's always something that I love to do. It's always a good distraction for me. I haven't been doing that as much lately, and that's when I kind of noticed things were off. Like I haven't made time for myself to do anything fun that I like to do. A month before, so 2 months ago, I had an anxiety attack, which I didn't know that's what it was till I went to the doctors and got diagnosed. I didn't get diagnosed then, but I kind of explained to him what happened. I had a really bad reaction to my allergy medicine I was taking, which was Flonase. I'm curious if anyone watching this video has had any experience with any kind of allergy medication, anything like that. Basically, I was taking it religiously for months, and then I stopped taking for a little bit, and because my allergies were fine, and then I took it again, and then I don't know what happened. I was really anxious. I was jittery. I couldn't sleep. I could feel like my chest was tight. I felt like I was having a hard time breathing. It was the worst experience ever. I had that happen again a few weeks later after that first time. Again, I realized, oh, this was like my allergy medicine from not taking it for a little bit and then starting to take it again. So I stopped taking it, I threw it away. I made a doctor's appointment because a little bit after that happened, it was happening like once in a while, but I would be at home and I would eat and I would forget how to swallow, and it would be like the scariest thing ever to forget how to, you're in the middle of chewing your food and then you completely just forget. And I was scared to death to eat by myself for a really long time. Like I would avoid it. I would wait till my boyfriend got home before I would eat dinner because I was just so scared that I was gonna choke or something. So I finally was like, okay, I need to make a doctor's appointment. Like this is getting out of control. I don't know why this is happening, where I'm having these issues when I'm home by myself, where I start to get really anxious and jittery. I was having that issue with the swallowing. So I finally made a doctor's appointment. I went, you know, we kind of did, of course they did like, you know, I did like a little anxiety test and all this other stuff, and she said it was kind of normal, my anxiety. Like she was like, I don't really think it's something that I need to put you on any medication yet for, but she's like, I definitely want you to kind of keep note and keep track of your anxiety and what's going on with it, and we can touch base, because I had a month follow-up appointment. Also, when I went to the doctor, I was having issues with my weight, where I wasn't losing any weight. I was trying really hard at that point, and I was just like, I can't, like, I was thinking something was wrong with me. When I went to that doctor's appointment, that was the first time I've seen a primary care doctor in probably since I was in middle school. So I am a hypochondriac. I really think something's always wrong with me, or I'm sick, that type of thing. I'm deathly afraid of doctors. I feel like if I go, they're gonna tell me something's wrong and I'm gonna die. It's like that whole thing. So I've avoided it for a really long time. Of course, I go to the dentist regularly. I love my dentist. If I'm really sick, I just go to like an urgent care place and that type of thing, but I haven't been to a primary care doctor. So I'm like, okay, I need to go. I need to get this out the way. So I talked to her about like losing weight, my issues with weight, and you know, she was like, okay, well, she gave me some few tips on what to do, and we were gonna touch base in a month. During that month, I actually lost 15 pounds. I am very proud of myself. It was definitely, it was hard at first. The first 2 weeks sucked. And then like later on, it was like coming off faster and faster. With the weight loss, all I've been doing is I've been doing the intermittent fasting, which I think is a big help for me, which really works well for me. Also, I do low carb. I also do portion control. Portion control has always been a problem for me. So doing all those things has helped me so much. I've lost 15 pounds. About 2 weeks ago, I noticed I was feeling off. I would be at work, and of course at work we have to wear a mask. I was just having issues to where I was like, feeling like I couldn't breathe, and I was getting really anxious and jittery, but I didn't know why. I was thinking, and I'm not a big caffeine drinker or coffee drinker or anything like that, so I wasn't really sure what was triggering me getting anxious and jittery. So I noticed that, like it was slowly that type of thing, but I was like, okay, so that went on for like a week. And then the next week, I just started to feel my body just completely tingle, like my feet and my arms and stuff. They was just completely tingling. My head was pounding, and I could feel like my chest was tight, and I couldn't sleep. 3 days, for 3 days, I probably slept like maybe 6 hours. Like I could not sleep. The only thing that was letting me function was Benadryl. I noticed every time I took Benadryl, and I would take Benadryl regularly for my allergies, because that's the only thing I know I could take that wouldn't mess with me. I was afraid to try any other allergy medicine after the Flonase situation. So I noticed when I would take Benadryl, it would calm me down and I was able to sleep. So finally, it was a Sunday night, and I just felt terrible. My head was pounding. My arms and my feet were like numb and tingling. My chest felt tight. I feel like I had to focus on my breathing too much. Like I was just really nervous. Like it was the worst feeling. Like I feel like I had no control of my body. My brain is going just going crazy. I'm Googling like what my symptoms are. I'm freaking out. I'm like thinking that I'm in some diabetic coma. I'm dying. Like I have like a tumor. I have a blood clot. Like I'm freaking out because I'm like, I haven't been to the doctor. I forgot to add after my appointment to get blood work done before I saw her for my next exam. So I was feeling better. So I pushed off that appointment. I was like, oh, I'll do it whenever. Like, I want to do the blood work, but I'll wait. Like, I'm not really worried about it. I'm losing my weight. I feel great. And then all of this started like 2 weeks ago. So I was like, okay, this is what I get for putting it off. I went and got my blood work done. I still was not feeling that great, but I went and got blood work done that Friday. And then, so the Sunday happened when I was saying that I felt like crap. I felt horrible. Body was tingling, my chest hurt. It was just bad. I thought I was having a heart attack. At 3 a.m., I finally was like, okay, I need to go to the emergency room. I'd never been to the emergency room. I was scared. I was going by myself. Everyone was sleeping. I didn't want to bother anybody. That's the kind of person I am. The night before, I was texting all my best friends and stuff, and really, I thought I was dying. It was to the point where I was writing people letters and notes and just telling them how much I loved them, because I was terrified. Like, I really thought that was the end for me. So I finally was like, I'm not going out like this. I'm gonna go to the ER. Fuck it. I know it's gonna be expensive. My mom was like, you shouldn't go because it's gonna be super expensive. I just think you're having a panic attack. And I'm like, there's a chance that it might not be, you know, like it could be anything at this point. So I went, I checked in. Doctor was great. I did blood work. They gave me a urine test. They checked my EKG. So I waited for like 45 minutes, and I'm like laying in the bed and I couldn't sit still. I was super anxious. My head was pounding. Every time I would sit still, it was like almost like something would like jolt me in my body to like push me for me to get up. Like, I could not just sit still. So I just was pacing back and forth. Luckily, I had my few friends that were up early in the morning that I was thankful for, that talked me, you know, through it. I was scared. And then finally, doctor came back. He was like, you are healthy, which I was like, a doctor say that I'm healthy? Wow, okay. This girl is healthy? Like, what? And I cried. As soon as he said that, I was like, what? Like, I just cried. Like, I was like, I'm so sorry for crying. And he was like, yeah, we checked your blood work. We checked your thyroid. He's like, we had your heart rate, everything. He's like, you're healthy. He's like, you're just really, really stressed out. And when I went to the emergency room, they, you know, of course, he was like, you know, what's going on? And I kind of told him, you know, the situations. And he was like, you're just really stressed out. He's like, you may not think you are, but your brain, he's like, your brain is freaking out on you. It's like, it's just your body is going crazy. You're like, you have no control of your body at this point right now. And I'm like, I can tell. Once he literally told me that I was healthy and that there was nothing wrong with me, put that in quotes, literally I could feel that numbness and that tingliness in my body literally just fade away. I still felt very anxious and jittery, but literally that horrible feeling of that numbness and the tingling went away instantly. The doctor I had was really nice. He literally sat in the room with me for about 45 minutes and just talked to me about everything. He ended up prescribing me in anxiety medicine. I won't name any of the stuff I'm taking just to, you know, not trigger anybody with medicine names and topics like that. He did say my potassium was low, so I am taking something for that, which I actually have just finished today. So that is a thing, and then he gave me something for the anxiety. I've been I don't want to take anything. I don't want to take any medication. And I'm like, I have to, like, I have to do it to feel better. So he wrote me out my prescriptions. I ended up leaving. So I was there maybe like in less than 2 hours. I went home. I ended up being able to just go to sleep. I slept for a little bit. I ended up going to my local CVS, getting my prescriptions filled, got everything, taking it now. Your girl is doing so much better. It's definitely helped a lot. I've been taking everything like I'm supposed to. Talked to my primary doctor. I had a virtual appointment with her. We went over everything. She just a-okay the medicine I was taking. We're going to touch back with everything in the future. She did say also that, because the blood work that she also received from me, that I'm possibly anemic. But prior to me getting my blood taken, a few days before, I had just finished my menstrual cycle, and mine is usually really bad and I bleed horribly. So she thinks that was probably why, but we're gonna recheck that, my potassium and everything, I think in about 3 weeks. Anxiety, I've always been really weird with small groups of people. I go to concerts by myself. Huge arena concerts, shows, stuff like that. I've gone by myself. Never had a problem. I always meet people. Every time I go to concerts, I meet people, and that's fine. But if you tell me you're having a party at your house with like 20 people, I'd freak out. I can't go, because it's just something about being in a closed environment and meeting people is so scary to me. And people are always like, I can't believe you're shy. Like, I'm really shy. Like, I'm so shy. I don't know. I used to not be when I was younger. I love to meet people. It's just, I don't know, just something about it. Just, I overthink. And I think that's my biggest problem, is like, I overthink everything. It just ruins things for me. Another little side thing that happened to include with all of my stress that apparently I am dealing with, my father, who I haven't seen since I was 12, haven't spoken to since I was 12, randomly messaged me on Facebook, like during this time when things started to get weird for me. It was very weird. It was a very short conversation. It wasn't anything to write home about, tell everybody about. I only talked to him for a little bit. I haven't heard from him since then. I'm not, everyone's just telling me don't really invest too much into that, and I'm not. I mean, I guess it was nice that he tried to reach out, but for me, I think if you're really interested in having a relationship, especially I'm the only daughter, you think you would put more effort into that. And we'll see how that goes. He hasn't been in my life. I've been fine without it. So if he talks to me, there's why not? I mean, I'm not gonna gain anything or lose anything in that situation, so I might as well. I am going on vacation to Florida soon to see my family. I'm so excited. Me and my mom are moving. We are getting a bigger place. We are moving into a townhouse. I am super excited. Finally gonna have a big room to fit all my junk that I have. I'm excited. I'm excited to decorate. I can't wait for that. But yeah, so guys, 2020 has been rough, but we don't have to make the rest of the year out that way. My favorite holidays are coming up: October, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. I cannot wait. Thanks so much for sticking through this video. Again, I apologize if it's a little long. I actually cut it kind of short. I had I could have talked about all this forever. All right, guys, well, have a great day. Love you so much. See you soon.